All right, we're back again. Okay, I got the tennis ball machine set up, and hopefully I got it set up in the right way. So now I'm just gonna work on touch volleys. I'm actually gonna try to absorb the ball and try to just drop it over the net and work on that. I play a lot of doubles, so that's something I work on besides ground strokes. Let's see how this works out. It is so hot out here,
With
folks.
his own meal deal? Computer, I love your cup.
It's brutal.
Actually, you're making a happy meal.
Unconventional. Not everything's all perfect. Sometimes the ball's coming at you too fast to make a decision. So you're just putting the racket up and blocking it back. You see these you see these highlight shots that people are doing at the net or whatever, volleys, where they're practicing these things. You gotta come out here and practice touch. Letting the ball just come off the strings. Just like that. There's no effort. Just bouncing it off and trying to direct it. Okay, not everyone's going to go over, but a lot of them are. You see, you get a feel. And this racket's so tight for me. I usually swing my rackets in the 30s. And early, late, low 40s. So hard to get there. That ball's coming hard. This ball's moving out of the tennis ball machine. And it's low. And that's what I'm practicing. But you can come up and get the ball in the air like that. I mean, it's already past the net. You can practice taking it in the air too. As long as it's crossing your side first. But just swap balls in it, and that's even too deep. You want to put it right there. You want to put it just over the drop it right over the net. That's what you try to do. I practice double bounce too. Whatever makes the ball go over. It helps with your eye-hand coordination. If you're playing doubles and you're at the net and someone's ripping a ball at you, don't be afraid. That ball got by me. Sometimes you can't even see the ball. You're just reacting to it. Like that. Coming up and reacting to the ball. Then you go back and practice, proper steps and all that, volley and a ball like that, but you gotta be able to have feel and touch on the ball. Not think power. You have to be able to use finesse. The Alcaraz and those guys that hitting drop shots, well, they learn how to use finesse. And it's from mini tennis. Playing mini tennis. People that are learning how to play tennis are getting taught wrong. You don't bring up get yellow tennis balls out to people that's never played tennis before. You bring the red tennis balls. You use the orange tennis balls. And you play mini tennis. And let them get used to the ball. Then as they advance, and they learn how to play bass, on the baseline, then they already got an idea how to play the short game, the mid game. Now this one I'll try to drop it over the net. I'll try a couple of those, just like that. And I'm telling you, these are flat balls too. If you get brand new ones, they'll just flop right over, dude. And then practice taking it in the air. I got the ball machine set up low where it's coming at me low and it's coming at me kind of fast. You can't really see that. I touch the ball, but you don't want no balls getting by you. I mean, it's hard. We're not even looking at the ball. The ball's coming right to your feet. We're practicing that. You can even practice catching it so you get an idea. And this is how these guys practice these between the leg shots too. They practice by missing, just missing the ball. How do you think they learn how to do that? Just by what we're doing. Almost went in. I'll try a couple. I used to do them pretty good. I don't really do them that often, as you can tell, but I used to be pretty good at it. I used to be pretty good at the shot volleys and between the leg shots and stuff like that. Hey, sometimes you have to. Sometimes somebody's got a ball and the ball's coming at you, they get a short ball or a short bop and they rip it right at you. And then all you could do is, try to put a racket on it. Any way you can to get the ball back over. Now, like I say, I expect to miss some of these shots because it's difficult shots that I'm trying, but the majority, you can see what I'm talking about. I even got the ball to come back over on backspin on it. And that's what we're trying to do. Get the ball as close as you can to the net and practice that. And then, also practice volleying correctly. But a lot of my friends are like, why are you practicing those shots when you should be practicing the volley? Well, when I'm playing them and I hit these shots and I make 9 out of 10 of them and don't miss none of these shots, and when I'm at the net and somebody whips a ball at me, I have my hand speed's quick from practicing these types of stuffs. You have to practice everything so you're going to be aware of everything. Any kind of situation or scenario that comes up on the court, you'll have a concept in your mind how to deal with it. And as I said, they practice these shots, bro. They set the ball machine up, or they got guys feeding them and they practice hitting between their leg, go doing that, or behind their back, because sometimes they'll run past the shot and then you have to go backwards to get the ball. I mean, I'm not suggesting doing any of this shit, but sometimes you have to win a point. Let's say you're in a tournament and you're down 1 match point and you misjudge your shot and you come into the net and you think you got a perfect shot and that person hits the ball with a cross-court shot and you go this way, and then your only chance is to come back out that way and kind of spin and put your racket out to get the ball back over because you just got beat and you have a Hail Mary chance. Well, by practicing these shots, you may make those shots in a situation where you need to make that point to keep the contest going. And obviously, I have done crazy shit in tournaments and just out here playing. Like I say, you're an artist with a tennis racket. You don't have to hit like everybody else. You don't have to, you have to have the fundamentals, obviously, bringing the racket back, stepping into the ball, but you can be creative. You can use your imagination. You can try to do drop volleys. You can try, different things. And as I say, I learned years ago to use a backhand grip on those backhand volleys because it is a backhand shot. If you use a continental grip, it's just awkward. Continental is good for this, for that kind of volleys. But I also learned, my strings are tight, but I also learned how to absorb people's shots because I've played against people all my life that hit a heavy ball And if you come into the net, you can use that pace against them. Prime example is watch McEnroe or Sampras or any of these great serving and volleyers back in the day, because that's a lost art. And the guys that are number 1 and 2 in the world now are starting to do that. They're starting to come into the net and win points at the net volleying, because you can't just sit back there all night long and hit these ridiculous ground strokes. Sooner or later, you got to shorten this point and come in and put the ball away. That's why Alcaraz has got a wicked drop shot, because they learn mini tennis. When they're little kids, they learn how to do mini tennis, and they learn the whole entire court. And that's where adults miss out on, because these coaches now are stuck in the 80s and 90s. They come out here with their basket with yellow tennis balls, feeding people and shit, and you need orange and red balls to teach beginners. The ball bounce is different. It's easier for them, and then they can move to the yellow ball, and then they can move back and play proper tennis, 78-foot tennis. But you want to start them off in 40-foot, in the 40-foot range, and the 68-foot range, or 62-foot range. that way you're teaching them how to play the game first, and then it comes to them naturally when the yellow ball is introduced. That's how I do it. It works for me. I've done a lot of, I've helped a lot of people get good at this game over the years. And recently, since I've been out here training, I've helped other people that are friends of mine. I don't charge them. I just come out here. Like tomorrow, I'm going to go help my friend Al. He's hitting off the tennis ball machine. I'm helping him with his forehand, and it's coming along really well. But, he's a guy that started playing 20 years ago, or maybe 30 years ago. He started playing in the 90s, and that's how they taught. You bring the yellow balls out, and, teaching people, step, here's the racket, ready position, step, hit through it. That shit, which is not shit, it's fundamentals. But every person has their own personality. Everybody that is incorporated in your style of play in tennis. If you're an aggressive person, you'll play aggressively. If you're, passive aggressive, then you're gonna play that way. But there's a lot of good tennis players on YouTube that have no weapons because they don't develop them, because they're passive. They're passive players, they're defensive players, they're pushers, whatever you want to call them. And they have some of these guys got huge tennis channels, and they're good players, but they're not aggressive. They're not aggressive, and they've been playing tennis long enough to be able to hit every shot. If you're a 4-5 player or a 4-0 player, and you're playing in 4-0 tournaments and 4-5s, and you can't volley, then you're not really a 4-0 player. You're just a guy that has a couple weapons that you've been playing people that are less talented to you, or don't have a strategy. So that's why you're beating them. But if you come across a real player that's a 4-0 player or a 4-5 player, they're going to smoke you, because they're going to know your weakness, and they're going to know you're not able to come into the net. So you have to learn everything, folks. All right, we'll be right back. We're going to round these balls up, and we're going to have another session.